Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
We're back at it today with our old deck remodel project, and today is install day, so really excited about that. However, we figured out some mistakes that we made with our demo and our surface leveling that we're back to fix today. Isn't that the way it always works with backyard projects? So there's definitely some spots that need leveling out. Jerry's going to be working on that, and we're going to be measuring out our final area for our install.
What I'm doing here is I'm just feeling for high spots and just going to try and grade them out smoothly, because if you start digging a hole, you're going to just create a bigger hole down at the other end of the line, so to speak. So we're just gradually grading them out a little bit here and moving the dirt out of the way.
Sometimes it's nice to have a couple of days in between work days so that you can kind of scope the project out, think about it, and figure out where you made mistakes. So definitely here is one of them. Lots of little bumps here in the surface, so I'm also going to be using the sledgehammer to kind of flatten things out. And perhaps that will help. And then also just check things out here with my hand and lay down some stakes so Jerry can go along and peel back the landscape fabric and kind of dig it out just a little bit more. Not too much, because we don't want to open Pandora's box. Starting from that end, I'm going to start from the other side, checking for bumps. It's a little bit high here, and then we'll just work our way towards the middle. Here's the big reveal of what we're laying down on the surface of our deck area. We chose this beautiful interlocking tile. And one reason why we did this is because number one, it matches the color of our deck up above. Number two, it fits within our budget. It's quick and easy to install. And it's a lot lighter than the decking in the chill zone area, which we installed a couple of years ago, which has also held up pretty well to the elements. So we're really excited about it. And Jerry's actually doing a little test install area in one of the corners, just so we can see how it looks and get a feel for how level our surface is or is not.
So what I'm doing over here is I'm just setting up a mock-up area just to see how these tiles are going to react in our situation. This is maybe not going to be their final destination, so to speak, but so far it's going pretty well. I had to smooth out a couple of areas. I wanted to see how the tiles were going to react to that as well. Kind of the danger in what you're doing here is, if you notice, this is a little bit lower, just a little bit lower than the others. But if I spend all day trying to raise this one up, then the next thing you know is you're going to have to raise the other ones up and that kind of thing. So we're not really going to be that particular about this. These are interlocking, so as you lock more and more together, the stronger, the more of a unit the tiles act, and everything kind of holds each other in. I'm happy with this. I got the idea of how much that we need to pound down on high spots. And one little nice little hack that Kim, I think, has been showing you already is just using a heavy hammer and just hammering down the high spots. And believe it or not, this really makes it pretty smooth. So it's actually been a really good tool. So we'll go over there and we're going to actually start in that corner, because let me show you why. Come on over. Here we have no room to play. So we want to start on this end because we have no other room to adjust that. But down there we do. So what we can do then, install here, and it's recommended that you install all the way to the right, one row at a time. That way, if there's an issue, oops, it pushes this way, and we have play here. So we can go into this bark if we need to. If we're a little shy, we backfill it with the bark. And it looks great, like we know what we're doing. All right, let's do it.
What we're doing now is we're laying down a snap line, because we're realizing our edging is not quite straight, and probably something we should have done first, but you know what? You live and you learn with these backyard DIY projects. So Jerry's going to undo the edging. We are going to line it up against this pink line, so we've got a nice straight line to start our deck. The other thing that's really important to do, especially when you're laying down the 1x1 tiles, is measuring to the nearest foot. So our area here is 15 feet by 9 feet. You don't want it to be like 14.5 by 8.5, because then you end up cutting a whole bunch of those square foot tiles when you get to the very end. So we're trying to keep this as simple as possible. It's making a big difference there. And one reason why we really like this edging is because it's a lot less work, because you don't have to dig it into the ground. But you've got these little grooves here that you just nail it in to hold it in place.
We'll do our best with this edging though. It's It's rubbery, so it bends, but we're still in the neighborhood.
We're backyard DIYers, so we're just out here doing our thing, and it's okay if there's a couple of mistakes along the way.
What are you showing here?
15 feet, so we need to move our stake in just a little bit. We feel so much better about this. Just looks so much straighter, and
Yeah.
it's really going to help us with the install.
Yep.
It's an important first step here. We're really excited because we're about ready to start our install, and we're going to start with the cornerstone right over here. So I'm just clearing out the area here so we're not laying the tiles down on any debris.
This piece is the cornerstone, the most important piece of this deck. It's going to start the path along the front and along the side. So we make sure we line that up well. And the way that these work is that they have pegs on one tile, circles on the other, and we'll drop them in just like that. Allows you to change the direction of the pattern if you choose. Kind of nice. So here we go. We're going to put this right up against the edging as best we can. The edging's a little bent, so we have that, but that's nothing we can do about that. I'm peeking over the top now to make sure our snap line is in line with that, and that looks good. I like it. Kim, what are your thoughts?
I think it looks great.
Okay.
Looks nice. I like the direction of the lines, the planks.
Yep.
Matches our deck up above really nicely.
I like the lighter wood actually better
Yeah,
than the darker
Me
wood.
too. I have a feeling we might end up redoing the chill zone this summer too.
And if you were paying attention to the earlier part of the video, you go all the way across first. That's the best way to go because it forces these to stay interlocked as you move across. And that's what we want. We don't want them coming undone. So I'm doing my best to not lift these as much as possible.
We may have to just kind of work as we go and then pound
Yeah.
things out
Yeah.
and level it. It's taking shape for the first line here. It looks
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, it's a little bit high here.
Also, what we found with the chill zone is that with the weight of what we put on it, it kind of helps lower it down, and then they all interlock together as we go, which helps strengthen the whole structure. Beds and all the vegetables I'm going to grow.
Fella can dream.
So we are kind of getting our system down here, which I think is half the battle when you're doing a project. Jerry's doing the install. I'm going along in front of him and kind of pounding out the high spots so he doesn't have to do that. And then he's kind of doing the same and checking everything as we go to see if we need to make the adjustments for the tiles to snap together properly. What do you think, Mac? You gonna join us down here for a little bit? Come here, hop over. Good boy. These pads are totally saving our knees.
Totally.
Couldn't ask for a better dog.
We're about halfway through now. We're making a good pace.
It's going a lot faster than I thought, which I'm really glad because the clouds are just getting darker and darker.
There's still some high spots, but you know, it's okay. I don't think it's going to be a game changer. Mac, what do you think?
We're not sure if Mac likes the treats or if he really likes us. I think a little of both.
Well, as you can see, it's coming along very well, nicely. But I saw a hill over here, and it's bugging me, and I just can't let it go. So I'm gonna, cut open the cloth here and just loosen some of this up, and just kind of take it out. I think I'll be glad that I did it. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, you're gonna regret it if you don't.
Here we go, guys, the last piece. I cannot believe how quickly this came together. Of course, I had a few challenges along the way, but every single DIY project we've ever done does.
So true.
And we're just really happy to get it done before we get a deluge of rain here. Such a good feeling of accomplishment. Of course it won't go together.
I'm really tired.
We are tired. It's like a 5-hour quad workout. Nice job, Jerry. You got
I
it.
think that's it. Yeah.
Snaps together like butter. Phase 3 installation is 97% complete.
Yep.
And just in time because here comes the rain. It's starting to sprinkle just a little bit. We still have a few things left to finish, a few custom cuts around the corners, a little bit of edging, but it feels so good. I'm really excited about it.
It feels great, and I do hope that it was fun for you and that you learned something taking a project from conception, from walking the job, to the final stage phase, which was installation and touch-ups.
Right, so let us know how it inspired you in your garden and what you learned from it. And make sure to follow along with this whole project, because we're going to be getting the raised beds up. Jerry's got a potting bench to build, and we've got maybe a light post to install. So we look forward to finishing it up this spring. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.